New Zealand 2 being challenged for that first place by the team from Spain 3. Spain 3 are now within a boat length of that first place. They have worked hard to make their way up from contending for third, now contending for first. And if they can continue those gains, then it could be interesting to see who gets their bow across the line first. We've still got GBR 3, then Denmark 1 in third and fourth place respectively. Big gap back now to Ireland 1 in fifth place as the rest of the boats start to make their way into the chicanes.
Assolutamente sì, un grande attacco in questa ultima frazione della Spagna che prova a rinvenire proprio sulla formazione della Nuova Zelanda. Un'azione bella, pulita, martellata, la voglia di rientrare, la Spagna all'assalto insieme alla Gran Bretagna, e quando si tiri a vicenda nel canottaggio, un po' come nel ciclismo, riesci a rientrare sul gruppo di testa. Quindi ora la Nuova Zelanda è in pericolo perché ad attaccare ci sono Spagna e Gran Bretagna che insieme si tirano e lanciano la volata sulla Nuova Zelanda.
For third place looks to be where it's at. It is still the boat from New Zealand out front, followed by Spain 3. However, the boat from Denmark 1 is trying to row around the outside of the team from GBR 3. They are going to have to find some extra pace if they're going to make that extra distance count and be able to get in front of the team from GBR as they come around the next buoy. The next buoy left to starboard. They're going to be making a right-hand turn. So the Danes have put themselves as the outside boat there. So they're going to need to be ahead if that is going to turn into an advantage. At the moment, though, it's hard to tell from where I am on the course, but it looks like they are indeed pulling that off around the outside of the boat from Britain and into third place.
Yes, Corey is exactly right what you're saying. We've got New Zealand in the lead, but then Spain and Denmark at the moment are second and third. Great Britain 3 passed now in fourth, but of course we have to wait the finish line. Dovremo aspettare il traguardo per poter dare quella che di fatto è la grande notizia. Se da un lato la Nuova Zelanda continua la sua corsa davanti alla Spagna, al terzo posto è passata la Danimarca, poi Gran Bretagna 3 e Irlanda 1.
Well, wait for the finish line we will be, and these teams will also be waiting to come around that final turning point and row past the penalty box. That penalty box lurking on the left-hand side of the course, but there'll be a sigh of relief when they get past that without getting the nod from the umpire to go and sit out any time penalties in there. And New Zealand have done just that. They are now making their way unchecked towards the finish line, 4 or 5 boat lengths back to the team from Spain 3. Denmark 1 having made that overtake of GBR 3 at one of the earlier marks. Now third place with 3 boat lengths back to GBR 3 around that mark. And we've just had a quick leg down to that penultimate turning point with the swell behind them. All the boats surfing down the front of that swell towards the mark, having a tricky job to make the turn with the swell pushing them away from where they want to go when they make the next turn, but everybody seems to be around. There were a couple of losses there, people that had only a boat length between them, now back to 2 or 3, but it looks like the New Zealanders that have led from leg 1 managed to carry that the entire race so far. Comfortable lead for them as they make their way towards the line.
Ed eccoci ora verso il traguardo, si vola per completare questa finale B del doppio femminile. Ancora le posizioni restano invariate, la Nuova Zelanda è lì davanti, poi c'è la Spagna e la Danimarca per le prime 3 posizioni. And of course we can't wait to see all of those crews crossing the line here, and it's still Netherlands, the New Zealand combination leading Lily Connell and Tegan Negos that are storming home with more than a length of advantage on the rest of the field. They are crossing the line now, and is New Zealand celebrating the win of the women's double scull. What a win for them. Second goes to Spain, Club de Mar, Claude Lilodde, El Campello, Esther Linares, Baudes, Sara Elena Parcarea, and third is all for Denmark, Danske Students, Ruder Club, Kaller and Robinson. And now it's time to focus to the next B final, is the men solo. And off we go. It's now time to look into this wonderful big final of the men's solo. 18 scholars racing here. 18 scholars trying to get the 19th place overall at this World Champ. What an amazing start. Scotty, tell us all the updates from the water.
Hi, Luca. Well, yeah, 18 people across the start line. 2 not getting the start they wanted, though. Italy 6 and GBR 3 ending up a little bit tangled up together just as they came across the line. So it took a moment for them both to get clear and get away from each other without any damage. They are both back underway, though, now. The rower from Italy 6 coming right out to the right-hand side. Only a couple of boat lengths now from my commentary boat. So it looks like he is just powering into his own space, getting out from all the turbulent water behind the pack ahead of him. And if he can keep that pace up, he'll be looking like he could make some really good gains and make back some of the distance lost after that incident at the start line. We've also got a boat there. I think it's one of the French boats. It's got caught up in the middle. 2 of them trying to get themselves untangled. These smaller boats in the bigger swell really do get affected more. They get picked up and can get dropped in towards each other. And yeah, nobody wants that to happen. At the moment, though, everybody else looking very, very competitive up at the front. It's really, really tightly packed across the course at the moment. I'm going to catch up with the front boats and let you know how it's looking in a moment.
Una partenza bellissima qui a Genova per questa finale B del singolo maschile, una lotta con 18 formazioni quasi appaiate, con anche gli atleti italiani che cercano di trovare spazio per portarsi al centro della scena. Ancora grande attenzione nelle ali del campo di gara, vedete la voglia di trovare il giusto spazio per andare ad inserirsi per gli italiani. Tommaso Vianello del Saturnia, il Rowing Club San Michele di Pagana, Marco Fabbi, e poi ancora Lazio, Luca Dell'Elice con Argus, Francesco Verderame Russo. Sono questi gli italiani in gara con i colori dei propri club di appartenenza. Molto vicini, ravvicinati, uno spettacolo incredibile.
Oh, it looks like the lead of this race has been taken by the rower from Germany 1, all out on the left-hand side of the course, closely followed by the athlete from Azerbaijan won, and then I believe it is Canada won in third place behind them. The three of them right over on the left-hand side of the course. In the middle, though, there is Spain 2 rowing at the front of a bit of an arrowhead formation with the rest of the chasing pack. It'll be interesting to see how the two of them start to come down on the mark together and who manages to translate that distance across the course into boat lengths ahead when they come down and hit the centre line of the next leg down to turning point 2. It's a bit wet and grey out here. The weather has come in. We've got some light rain across the course, grey mist all around us. We'll see how that affects conditions when we get further inshore. At the moment, though, it is just this swell still rolling in and the mixed sea state they've got to contend with. Everybody keeping those bows pointing true at the moment, though. On the way to turning point 1, last 100 metres to go for that lead rower in Germany 1.
Tre formazioni che hanno voglia di andare ad imporsi, tre formazioni che di fatto rincorrono la parte centrale del percorso. Bellissima l'azione pulita da parte della formazione dell'Azerbaijan, del Baku Rowing Club. Murad Sadiknov continua lì al centro a sparire tra le onde ed è bellissimo vederlo andare su e giù. Questo è lo spettacolo che volevamo e nella giornata conclusiva qui a Genova lo stiamo vivendo. Quindi Azerbaijan, Baku Rowing Club, Murad Sadiknov, lui classe 2001, sta cercando di volare via insieme a tutti gli altri che di fatto cercano comunque di inserirsi, ma la vera gara è nella seconda parte con 10 formazioni appaiate, si stanno quasi prendendo sportellate come una sorta di pista di autoscontri.
Well, tight competition around turning point 1. Those lead 3 boats, as expected, with Spain 2 in 4th place. After that, though, we've got our first broken oar of the competition today. Italy 8 has had a bit of contact with another boat and broken oar. So that's Italy 8 sitting there with his hand up, waiting for somebody to come to his assistance. The rest of the boats managing to row round him clear, though. We've got the whole fleet now around that turning point 1. They'll all be pushing hard with this swell, setting across from the starboard side of the boat. We'll see here if they all end up pushed down towards the left-hand side of the course, as we've seen in some of the other races, or whether people have seen what's happened to the fleets before them and managed to compensate for that early.
Diceva molto bene Scotti, dovranno compensare, e questa è la parola giusta, un po' come se fossimo nel mondo della subacquea. Dovranno compensare sicuramente gli alti e i bassi e i salti sulle onde, ma dovranno anche compensare questi momenti di difficoltà per andare a spingere forte verso il traguardo. Da un lato ancora la voglia di emergere per Azerbaijan, ma la Germania Malte Hein diventa pericolosissimo in questa del singolo maschile.
Well, the lead unchanged coming into turning point 2 now. It looks like Azerbaijan 1 has managed to hang on to that second place, though, looking right on the centre line of the course. Canada 1, third place, having gone quite a long way wide. However, that means his angle to turn around this mark won't be anywhere near as sharp as his competitor on the inside. So it might be that if he can time it right, get lucky with a swell, he can surf around that turn and into the third leg. We'll see how that translates in a moment. The rest of the boats all charging down the line. Everybody seems to have managed to stay up to the right-hand side of the centre line on that course. I don't see any boats down to the left. Now I'm sat at the end looking down the line of that course, so everybody well dialed into the conditions, handling them well. Canada 1 around that mark in first place, followed closely by Spain 4, who'll be pushing hard to make up the distance and try and get in that front 3.
Ma che gara straordinaria per il Canada. Rafael Kaiser su Murad Sadignov, da un lato il Canada, dall'altro l'Azerbaijan, nel mezzo anche Gerard Andrew Gallisa della Spagna, con la voglia di andare a superare il Canada. Con Rafael Kaiser è riuscito ad andare ad infilarsi sull'atleta dell'Azerbaijan al giro di boa, quindi Canada in testa, poi Azerbaijan a seguire la Spagna per le prime 3 posizioni.
Well, in the middle of this third leg, there is still tight competition in the middle. The first 6 places strung out ahead of us, approaching the third turning mark, but leading the middle 7th place back, I think it is USA 3, followed closely by Hungary 1, France 4. We've got 2 boats just behind them, Canada 1 and Finland 2, all on the same wave, that wave bringing them in. The rowers there having their work cut out, needing to dig deep into those boat handling skills to make sure they control the boat. As soon as that wave starts to pick up the back end of the boat, more and more control is given to the water, less and less control to the person in the boat, but they have managed to navigate their boats well down the face of that wave, not getting brought together, managing to avoid all of that contact that nobody wants, and are now rowing in towards that next turning point. The rower in Hungary 1, probably unknown to him at the moment, there's a time penalty for a false start that will be applied further down in the race, so he will be picked out of the fleet by the umpire's boat and ushered into that penalty box to see out a 2-minute penalty for a false start. At the moment, though, he's trying hard to hang on to that lead pack, but that will be devastating for his placing in the results when that time penalty is given. This long down sea leg to turning point 5 is a quick one with the waves behind these boats, and it is still quick for Germany 1 up front, holding on to that lead that it has done since the beginning of the race. Azerbaijan 1 though, hot on his heels, probably only a boat length between them. Spain 2 now occupying that all-important third place. I reckon there's only a boat length between all of these lead 3 boats, and we've seen before on the chicanes a boat length can turn to dust in no time with the intricacies of making all of these mark roundings and some of the luck required to just catch the waves at the right time. It looks like Spain 2 are indeed managing to get a bit of overlap on that boat from Azerbaijan. We'll see how that pans out by the time they get to turning point 6.
Absolutely right, Scotty, un vantaggio incredibile per il Canada, riesce ancora ad allungare un'azione importante per l'atleta canadese su Azerbaijan, diventa molto pericolosa però la Spagna che sta provando a rientrare, quindi questi sono gli 1-2-3 con Canada, Azerbaijan e Spagna.
A last-minute assault being made on that first-place position by Azerbaijan 1. Digging deep and pulling hard. I can see his bow starting to ride up alongside the sculler from Germany 1. It is now bow to bow on the way down to the penultimate turning point 7. It looks like the boat from Azerbaijan has now got their bow ahead, but they are on the outside of the course for what this turn's going to be. So they're going to have some extra meters to row if they're going to turn that outside position into an advantage when they make the turn round to the left on the way to the final turning mark. Oh, and the two of them have got tangled up. When you start to get that close together, the risk taken sometimes doesn't pay off, and they are both stopped in the water getting themselves untangled, while the boat from Spain 2 powers around the outside and is now leading the pack into this turning point 7. It's Spain 2, Azerbaijan 1, Germany 1, all change at the front here.
È cambiato davvero tutto. In Italia esiste un proverbio che dice: tra i due litiganti è il terzo a godere, ed è stato così anche oggi nel singolo, perché lì si sono andati ad incastrare uno sopra l'altro di fatto, quindi il Canada è scivolato dietro insieme all'Azerbaijan, si è portato davanti lo spagnolo che ne approfitta, saluta, se ne va. Vedremo se riuscirà a mantenere la testa del percorso in questa gara in continua evoluzione.
Oh, and it could be all about to go back in the favour of the rower from Germany. Azerbaijan 1 has got tangled up with the boat from Spain 2 as they tried to get the first place around that mark, and it's left the door open for the boat from Germany 1 to row around the outside, and he is now back where he has been for most of this race in first position. Azerbaijan 1 and Spain 2 still trying to get themselves untangled. Canada 1 being able to row around the outside. It is now second place for Canada 1. Azerbaijan 1 has got out of that bind first and is powering back. These two boats of Azerbaijan 1 and Spain 2 will be looking to take back that first and second position if at all possible. I think this could be an absolute drag race for the end. Some real speed being displayed by Azerbaijan 1 Baku Rowing Club there. Canada 1 looking vulnerable. He is going to have to keep the pace up if he's going to hang on to that second place.
Una di quelle gare che non ti vuoi perdere fino alla fine. Il Canada continua a picchiare durissimo, l'Azerbaijan prova ancora con Baku Rowing Club, Murad Sadikov a rientrare, ma attenzione perché c'è anche la Spagna sempre lì in grande spolvero, la voglia di andare a riposizionarsi, e quindi la gara che si evolve fino al traguardo tutto d'un fiato.
Well, we've had it happen again here, Luca. It is Azerbaijan 1 and Spain 2, tangled up once again, both trying to get clear. The competition between them, drawing those boats close together, and they are still trying to get untangled, as it is a rower from Italy now in third place. Doesn't have a bow number, so you'll have the information on that. I'll hand it back to you.
And now we are about to cross the line, and he's finishing this race. And of course, lots of celebration there after such a long race in the rain in this B final of the men solo. Crossing the line now is Germany, celebrating with a time of 20 and 39. Then is Canada 1, Rafael Kaiser for second place. Third with a big surprise is Italy 3, who managed to get back into this wonderful finish. What a race, and a lot of changes here. La gara delle sorprese, la gara delle novità, con la vittoria della Germania al secondo posto, il Canada al terzo posto con una grande rimonta, Tommaso Vianello del Circolo Canottieri Saturnia. Okay, good. And now it's time to focus to one of the most spectacular races of the day. Is the B final of the men's cox quadruple scull. We had 13 crews in this race, but then Italy 9 withdraw, and so will be 12 racing here for the places between the 19th and the rest. Overall, we are about to start less than a minute from now with the B final of the men's cox quadruple scull. And now we are live. We are with the B final of the men's Coxed Quadruple Scull 12 crews competing for the places between the 19th and the rest overall. What an amazing start here. And again, a lot of action with the biggest boats racing in this 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championships in Genoa. All the action, over to you, Scotty.
As you say, Luca, bigger boats, less space on the start line to fit all these big boats, but somehow they found a way, and I don't think we saw any incidents for a nice clean start there. Everybody playing it fairly safe, a boat length at least back from the line. So from certainly my position, there were no false starts, not expecting any penalties for that later on in the race, but we'll see what happens. At the moment, it looks like Spain 4 and Italy 5, both looking very strong out on the right-hand side of the course, with a boat of Monaco 1 in the middle there. We've got a bit of a spread, 3 boats starting to form a trailing pack, but the rest of the fleet very, very tightly bunched as they make their way through this swell. It's quite something to see these bigger boats handle this swell, crashing off the top of the waves. The weight in the back of the boats keeping that bow high until it tips off and plunges that bow down into the water. Huge power crashing through these big swells. We're about halfway down this first leg, almost no breeze to speak of now. This big band of rain that's above us seems to have killed all movement and circulation in the air. So at the moment, the flags on shore, from what I could see just finishing that last race, were hanging still. So it is just going to be a matter of handling the navigation of the course, dealing with the swell, and trying to use it to their advantage on all these turning points. Halfway down the course, looks like Monaco 1 maybe a smidge ahead. Spain 2 looking dangerous there for them on the right-hand side though.
Una di quelle gare incredibili, guardate ancora la Spagna cerca in tutti i modi di ritrovare lo spazio per rientrare su Monaco, viaggiano letteralmente appaiate, poi c'è l'Irlanda ma anche l'Italia, Italia 5 che in questo momento è lì per il terzo posto, stiamo parlando della canottieri verbanese di Alberto Malavasi, Saverio Bindel, Emanuele Ardizzoia con Edoardo Sottocorno, Lorenzo Mattei era il timoniere, un sodalizio che ben conosce il Coastal Rowing. Quest'anno in Italia organizzeranno i campionati italiani a fine settembre sul Lago Maggiore e vorrebbero essere certamente protagonisti con un'imbarcazione locale, un'imbarcazione societaria. Ora sono lì in questa finale B, al momento al terzo posto, ma Monaco, Spagna e Irlanda gli stanno dando gran filo da torcere.
Well, entering the last few hundred metres of this first long leg along the shoreline, furthest out to sea, the course takes them. It looks like the team from Monaco 1 have managed to find an edge, and they have pulled half a boat length clear of the Spanish team on the right-hand side. Italy 5 have now dropped back into 4th place, with a boat from Ireland occupying, I think it's Ireland 2, now in 3rd place. As we've seen before, that could all change. They start to come around the mark, but Monaco 1 now a boat length ahead. They'll have been training in conditions very similar to this just along the coastline, so maybe that expertise and that experience in these sort of waters has given them the edge that they need to maintain that lead for the race. But at the moment, they are a boat length to turning point 1. No boats challenging them for position on the course, which means they can pick their line around it unpressured. It then looks like Ireland 2 on the inside with Spain 4 just outside of them. Could be quite close for both these boats to get around without any incident, but it looks like they've done it. The advantage of having that Cox at the back, able to navigate the boats safely and steer them true and clear of any danger. As we saw in the last race, you get tangled up, it can spell disaster. Sometimes in coastal rowing, risk is worth the reward, but sometimes it will take everything away from you. And at the moment, nobody taking any unnecessary risks here. There's a lot of course left to run and nobody wants to be finishing their chances early.
E abbiamo quindi crono ai 1500 metri con Monaco 6:03:49 davanti all'Irlanda 5:07, il vantaggio appunto su Monaco. Poi la Spagna attardata di 10 secondi scarsi. C'è l'Italia, la canottieri verbanese attualmente al 4° posto, che sta cercando di risalire in una azione disperata. Bellissima quindi questa grande corsa con il primo crono, anche il gap dei vari equipaggi, un'azione splendida sul campo di Genova e con ancora capacità. Irlanda è lì davanti insieme a Monaco e Spagna per le prime 3 posizioni. Attenzione, la Francia sta passando la canottieri verbanese.
Monaco 1, keeping that pace up, 3 boat lengths ahead as they start to bring their bows around turning point 2, looking very, very comfortable. They have clearly found the rhythm with the ocean and are powering ahead around the mark. A nice sweeping turn, keeping that boat speed up as they start to pull that bow, slowing for a moment just to let a swell go underneath them. And that is what you see from the teams that are really experienced in these conditions. They adapt to the ever-changing conditions. One course, one direction brings the waves from a completely different direction as the next course, and it is all about being the quickest to adapt to that. That team from Ireland, Ireland 2, hot on the heels in 2nd place, a few boat lengths, a bit more of a gap back to 3rd place, Spain 4, and then Italy 5. We've had a bit of an entanglement at the turning mark. Ireland 1 and France 2. Ireland 1 on the inside, just carried a bit of extra boat speed into that situation. The swell behind them probably not helping the situation, but it looks like both teams are away clear without any damage. The stroke rower in Ireland 1 briefly caught a crab, but everybody seems to be back underway again, and they are powering up the inside of the course. The team from USA 2 also around the turning mark now. That's the first 7 teams on that leg to turning point 3, and the slalom to the finish. A series of tight sweeping turns which are hard to navigate in these big heavy boats. They'll be trying to keep the boats speed up, keep the boats moving, and let the cocks do all of the hard work and make those decisions for them.
Ed Ed è bellissimo vedere ancora una volta la lotta davvero con il cuore dei nostri atleti italiani che non si sono fatti intimorire dagli attacchi della Francia né tantomeno quelli insistenti dell'Irlanda. La canottieri verbanese è ritornata al terzo posto, al comando c'è Monaco, al secondo posto la Spagna. And looking into the entire field, of course, if we got Monaco in first and Spain 4 in second, Italy 5 in third, Ireland 1 in fourth, then USA 2 in fifth, France 2 in sixth, and Great Britain 2 in seventh, Ireland 2 in eighth, then South Africa 1 is currently ninth, 10th place is for Malta, 11th New Zealand 2, then France 1 in 12th. Closing off is Italy 9 in 13th.
That lead boat from Monaco around the fourth turning mark, well into the chicanes now, as we've got the team from France 2 and USA 2 just coming around that third turning mark now. The team from France 2 having to go quite wide to give space to the team from the US on the inside. They've had to pull their bow right down to the right-hand side of the course, but they are now back in the right direction. That's the problem with the swell in this corner of the course. You can make one small course alteration, but if the wave picks you up a little, exaggerate that movement of the boat, and swung their bow all the way down to the right, much further than I think they've wanted. They're now boat length back to that boat from the USA 1 ahead of them, so they'll be trying hard to make that distance back. Up ahead though, it is Monaco 1 still looking incredibly strong up front, pulling that lead out ever more to 2 boat lengths. They'll be wanting to be able to take their time, get these mark roundings right, unpressured for any unenforced errors that could cost them that lead. That's Spain 4 around that 5th mark in 3rd place. Italy 5 in 5th, Ireland 1 in 6th. It looked like the Irish entry there were going to carry the speed through a slightly wider turn and try to take the Italians, but they've decided to come back up to the left-hand side of the course and maybe intend on trying to row around the outside of them. Team struggling a little bit with the swell here as it gets heaped up to be a bit steeper, and those little turns and adjustments they're making to the course of the boat getting exaggerated, getting pivoted at exactly the wrong time. So we've seen a couple of big corrections necessary to get the boat back on track.
Back on track and exactly so at this stage Monaco is leading with 16 seconds of advantage on Ireland 2, and then is Spain back again in 3rd. 4th is Italy 5 Verbanese. Attenzione perché è cambiata nuovamente la terza posizione, se davanti c'è ancora Monaco a frullare per la seconda posizione c'è l'Irlanda, poi la Spagna, Italia al momento è quarta.
That is Monaco 1 past the final mark in towards the finish line. Ireland 2 still very steady in that second place. I think an unassailable distance ahead of them back to that first place, barring absolute disaster for the boat up front. And Spain 4 in third place. Italy 5 looking like they're going to make a push for that third place, but I think they'll be hard push to achieve that with so little water between them and the finish line. Absolute final chances for any changes now, but no change up front as it looks like the team from Monaco 1 coming back towards you, Luca.
No change up front, Scotty, and now is Monaco leading, managing the lead and pushing really hard the local Nautic rowing club of Monaco. Thomas Abel, the cox is screaming now, and few strokes to go, 3-1, and is Monaco winning this B final of the men's cox, the quadruple scull, but then second is all for Ireland 2, who is going to get this second place overall in this B final of the men cox quadruple scull after managing the second place for the entire race. The third will it be for Italy 5, Canottieri Verbanese, or Spain? But it's Spain leading this third, so Spain getting third in this B final of the men cox, the quadruple scull. Italy 5 is fourth. Sul traguardo quindi abbiamo visto la vittoria straordinaria di Monaco, che è riuscita a mantenere la testa del gruppo davanti a Irlanda 2. Terza posizione a Spagna 4, quarta piazza per Italia 5, la Canottieri Verbanese. check, check, check.
Okay, okay, now.
Like he's from like he's Indian legend from Japan. Is the best Japan singles color. So we have to show him.
Yeah, one of the best asteroid in Japan. Drop of heat. Yeah, no matter.
Thank you, great.
It's funny.
Questa è bella, no poi. Hai capito? Ma va. Well done, well done. Can we do a quick interview, guys? We go. Where are we sitting? Here. What you want as a background? And today, Monaco won the men's quad. How was it?
It was good. I really liked the race. I think we have a little bit of frustration from the heat. So we come here to show we are not in the great finals, but we have to show the other finals is also a great competition. So we take a lot of fun, a lot of joy to do this race, and it was magical.
You have a lot of tradition in coastal rowing. Back in Monaco, your country, you organize really important events. What do you like the most about coastal rowing?
I think the most to see all the boats at the start line, and we look at each other, and we know it's gonna be a lot of excitement and a lot of crash in the game. So you have to always look around. So I like this this atmosphere. This atmosphere.
Congratulations, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Have a nice day.
The final race of the day is about to start. We are going to close off the day with the mixed double scull, and we've got 18 crews racing this final race of the day, the last for the 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championships here in Genoa. 60 seconds from now. All the action is all happening out there, is all happening for the mixed double scull, the B final of this event. But let's see all the action in this final race with our wonderful colleague Scotty. Over to you.
Hi there, Luca. Well, that was an action-packed start. As I thought it might be, looking at how much all the boats had bunched down towards the right-hand side of the line. That land breeze had filled back in again in the last 20 minutes and is just starting to come into play and affect these boats on the course, which meant we had a lot of boats right down in the right-hand corner of that start line, really struggling to find space for themselves. And unfortunately, that did come true with a couple of little interactions there at the start line. It looks like everybody's managed to get away now, though. USA 2 were held up for quite a while trying to get clear with one of the French boats. There were two French boats right down the end of the start line trying to give each other space, but had nowhere to go and not enough time to row back around and come in from the back. I think the boats on the left-hand end that managed to keep their own space and hit the line running were the ones that came up with a real advantage. And two of those boats up front now, it looks like New Zealand 3 and Italy 1. Italy 1 currently with their bow ahead. New Zealand 3 pushing hard to hang on to the stern of their boat, though, and keep themselves threatening for that first place. It's then Canada 1 in third at the moment with a chasing pack. I couldn't call who's holding fourth place now. I can see 6, 7 boats in a line abreast the course. That will become clear a bit further down the line. Well, Italy 1 are starting to row themselves into a clear lead on the second half of this leg. out to turning point 1. That is Laura Morano and Niels Torre of Centro Sportivo Cabinari of Italy 1, probably 3 boat lengths back to the team from New Zealand 3, hanging on, wanting to stay in contention, but at the moment they are looking a long distance to Italy 1, rowing straight out of the front. Canada 1 on the right-hand side of the course in 3rd place.
E anche questa ultima gara del nostro programma fa sorridere l'Italia, lì al comando con l'equipaggio numero 1, quello del Centro Sportivo dei Carabinieri, ieri rimasto fuori dalla finalissima davvero per poco, ma con grande dispiacere per una penalità in partenza. Laura Meriano e Niels Torre, 2 ragazzi straordinari, già protagonisti della scena internazionale, hanno entrambi accarezzato il sogno olimpico, poi sfumato, tutte e 2 classe 99, hanno un vantaggio assoluto su Nuova Zelanda e Spagna, dimostrando di essere davvero una delle migliori formazioni a questa kermesse, ma ahimè fuori dalla finalissima assoluta. Questo è lo sport. Italia, Carabinieri lì davanti a fare l'andatura con Meriano, Torre e poi tutti gli altri. Well, turning point 1, Italy 1, around that in 1st place by a big margin. Now followed by Canada 1, that pair of Sarah Pridgeon and Aubrey Orban of Don Rowing Club in 2nd place. A lot of experience in that boat. We've seen them at lots of events as that pair previously, and they'll be hoping to use that experience in these conditions to hold on to that 2nd place and make up any of the distance up to 1st. New Zealand 3 in 3rd place, then Spain 1 in 4th, New Zealand 4 in 5th, and France 8 in 6th. We've then got a real cluster of boats coming through after that. 7th place back is currently France 10, then Sweden 2, USA 1, France 7, and Japan 1. All now around turning point 1. They are clustered together. Everybody looking fairly well on the centre line of this course. This big swell up to about 1 metre now, coming in from the right-hand side of the boats. I can see the hulls of the boats disappearing behind the waves and then popping back up again, just to give a sense of how significant those conditions are. It does look like 2 of the boats have had a bit of a tangle up in the middle. As I say, they were all really tightly packed, and when you've got that swell picking up, carrying boats down the leading edge of it, it can be really difficult to hold the position that you want.
Well, turning point 2. Italy won well in the lead and clear there. Big gap back now to second place. Canada 1. New Zealand 3. Momentarily putting their bow on the stern of the Canadian boat. A lot of boat speed carried by the swell here. One of the boats slows down to make that turn. The swell comes up and lifts the boat behind them and just propels them forward. The challenges and difficulties of making these turning marks in coastal conditions. Everybody around clear though. Still that boat from Spain in 4th place. We've then got a boat from the USA 1, next level rowing with France 1. Again, having a momentary contact, but nobody seems to have been slowed up too much by it. The coordination, not only between the 2 rowers in each of these boats, but also between the boats. So important to make sure everybody manages to compete this race without any damage or any penalty points for causing interference or collision. Yeah, exciting stuff at turning point 2 with the swell making things really, really difficult in terms of boat handling.
L'azione bella, pulita della formazione italiana continua di fatto a dimostrare che questo equipaggio sarebbe stato il protagonista o tra i protagonisti indiscussi in finale, ma poi la sorte non ha voluto così. Laura Meriano e Nils Torre vanno ancora lì davanti a comandare, ma diamo uno sguardo a tutta la classifica. So Italy is really leading this race. They wanted to be into the A final, then a penalty put them out, but they were definitely one of the favorite crews here. And so if Italy is leading, we've got Canada 1 in 2nd, then New Zealand in 3rd, 4th looks like is Spain, then United States of America 1 in 5th, New Zealand again in 6th, 7th and 8th for France, 8 and 7, then in 9th we've got Finland 2, 10th for Sweden 2, 11th USA 3, France 10 in 12, then we've got Japan 1 in 13, United States of America 2 in 14th, Germany 2 15th, Italy 3 16th, and closing off Egypt in 17th and France 6 in 18th.
Well, still at turning point 3. That's the 9th place boats back coming through now. Sweden 2 in 9th, followed by Japan 1 in 10th. Sweden 2 have just been informed of carrying a penalty for interference at an earlier stage of the race. So they will be pulled out by the umpires and put in that penalty box. A 60-second penalty for interference is applicable on this course. So that's not going to be good news coming their way. At the moment, though, we've got Italy 3, USA 2, USA 3 bringing up the last few boats in the fleet of this coastal mixed double sculls. Turning point 4 in their sights, the beginnings of the chicanes that will bring them along the coastline of Genoa back towards that finish line.
Il vantaggio assoluto dell'Italia fa battere forte il cuore non solo a Genova ma a tutta viva l'Italia, perché qui a gareggiare non c'è un circolo locale, ma sono i carabinieri con Laura Meriano e Nils Torre, classe 99, e ancora in corsa al passaggio ai 3220. La chiusura delle chicane era 14, 16 e 75 davanti al Canada, Don Rowing Club, Sarah Pigeon e Aubrey Oldham. Per la terza posizione invece New Zealand Rowing, Jameson McConaughey con Noemi Robertson, per andare a completare quello che di fatto potrebbe essere il podio della finale B. Non ci saranno medaglie, ma i piazzamenti 19esimo, 20esimo e 21esimo assoluto in questa del doppio mix.
Well, Luca, the closing stages of this race. That is the closing race of this event. Italy 1 continuing to row off into the distance there. They are now around that final turning point. Their bows pointed firmly towards that finish line and that first place across the line. Canada 1, though, having eked out that second place position into a more and more comfortable location on the course. They've got 2 or 3 boat lengths back. These chicanes, a real test of boat handling with a constant change in direction of the swell, but clearly the experience in that boat has served them well. They are now just making their way around the penultimate mark of the shallow waters as we get inshore. The wind here has completely died. The surface of the water is only disturbed by the rain that continues to fall on it. It's been a wet event a wet end to the event. However, the rain is not dampening the competition on the water. I think that is the Italian boat now, though, coming back towards you, Luca. I'm going to hand it back to you.
Thank you very much, Scotty. And yes, of course, a wet event at the end, and we were announced that, but now we managed to get all the B finals in today. So what an amazing effort from all the volunteers. They did such a great event with all the officials. Only thanks to you. We also raced today. So back to the race. We are about to cross the line. The last B final of the day. As we were saying, the mixed double scull will be a big win for Italy. Carabinieri are really storming. They proved to be a wonderful combination. They wanted to be in the lead. They wanted to be into the A final. They wanted to race for a medal. But there was a different story. Now they won the B final. Representing Carabinieri, Centro Sportivo Laura Meriano, Nils Torre, winning this B final of the mixed double scull. When? And that's the end of this B final of the mixed double scull. We have seen Italy crossing the line. Carabinieri, Laura Meriano, Nils Torre winning this B final. Second is all for Don Rowing Club. Canada 1, Sarah Pigeon, Aubrey Oldman. Poi third is for New Zealand, Jameson McConnell and Noemi Robertson. Can I do it? Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of it. This was the last race of the 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championships here in Genoa. Before we say goodbye, let me thank all the volunteers for their magic efforts and job, and of course all the officials. Without you, this could not exist. Scotty on the water, DJ Covell here on my right. You have been wonderful partners in crime. Next week, we've got all the beach sprints here on the same beach, and we can't wait to see you all dancing for the beach sprints here in Genoa. But the event is not finished yet. Victory ceremonies will start shortly. We can't wait to see you all up on the terrace for our victory ceremony, which we start at 1 o'clock sharp. Thank you very much. From Luca Brogine is all, and I see you all next weekend. Please welcome to the stage the Coastal Men Solo winners for the 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championships. Accogliamo sul palco delle premiazioni i vincitori del singolo maschile a questo campionato del mondo Coastal Rowing 2024. The medals will be presented by, le medaglie saranno presentate da World Rowing Council member Gwen Button, accompagnata da President of the Local Organizing Committee, il presidente del comitato organizzatore locale Marco Dodero. Winner of the bronze medal, representing Italy, vincitore della medaglia di bronzo, in rappresentanza dell'Italia, Gabriele Loconsole. Winner of the silver medal, representing Italy, vincitore della medaglia d'argento, rappresentando l'Italia, Davide Mumolo. Winner of the gold medal in the 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championship, representing New Zealand, vincitore della medaglia d'oro e il campionato del mondo di Coastal Rowing 2024, rappresentando la Nuova Zelanda, Philly Hamill. Let's hear it for all of our medalists. Applaudiamo i nostri medagliati. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the Coastal Men's Coxed Quadruple Scull winners for the 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championships. Accogliamo sul palco delle premiazioni i protagonisti del quadruplo maschile a questo campionato del mondo Coastal 2024. The medals will be presented by, le medaglie saranno presentate da World Rowing President Jean-Christophe Roland, accompagnato da President of the Italian Rowing Federation, il presidente della Federazione Italiana Canottaggio, Giuseppe Abbagnale. Winner of the bronze medal, vincitori della medaglia di bronzo, Netherlands! Netherlands represented by Olanda, rappresentata da B. Florin, Lennart van Lierop, Finn Florin, Jan van der Bee, Jukka Fetta, winner of the silver medal, vincitori della medaglia d'argento, Spain represented by Spagna, rappresentata da Manuel Fernández López, Rodrigo Conde Romero, Gonzalo García Ferrero, Carlos González, Sergio López Gómez, winners of the gold medal and the 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championships, vincitori della medaglia d'oro e del campionato del mondo Coastal 2024. Ukraine represented by Yuri Ivanov, Mikola Mazur, Ivan Futrik, Ivan Dovodov, Anastasia Ziri, Let's hear it for all of our medalists. Applaudiamo i nostri medagliati. next week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the Coastal Mixed Double Scull winners for the 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championships. Accogliamo sul palco delle premiazioni i protagonisti del doppio mix. The medals will be presented by. Le medaglie saranno presentate da World Rowing President Jean-Christophe Rolland, accompagnato da Mayor of Genoa, il sindaco di Genova, Marco Bucci. Winner of the bronze medal, vincitori della medaglia di bronzo, New Zealand! New Zealand represented by Nuova Zelanda, rappresentata da Kristen Froud and Joseph Sullivan. Winner of the silver medal, vincitori della medaglia d'argento, Italy! Italy represented by Italia, rappresentata da Annalisa Cozzarini, Andrea Serafino, Coastal Rowing 2024, Spain! Spain, represented by Spagna, rappresentata da Patricio Royas Azara, Amanda Gil Camacho. Let's hear it for our medalists. Applaudiamo i nostri medagliati. As we come to the end of the World Rowing Coastal Championships, we will now award the team trophy for the leading member federation. Points have been awarded to the top-ranked crew, and the winner of the 2024 World Rowing Coastal Championship team trophy is Spain! Arrivando al termine del campionato del mondo di Coastal Rowing, siamo a consegnare il trofeo alla prima nazione in classifica. I punti sono stati assegnati ai primi equipaggi in classifica. Il vincitore del campionato del mondo 2024 è la Spagna. Complimenti! And now we have a final presentation from the local authorities of Genoa. Ed ora abbiamo una premiazione conclusiva che andrà a completare e chiudere questo splendido campionato del mondo. Mayor of Genoa, Marco Bucci, present the president of the organizing committee, Marco Dodero, with an award for his dedication and enthusiasm in hosting the World Coastal Rowing Championship in Genoa. Thanks to his courageous and beloved city, was able to host this high-level international competition, turning a distant dream into a reality. On behalf of everyone, Mr. President, we want to express all of our gratitude. È il sindaco Marco Bucci a premiare il presidente del comitato organizzativo Marco Dodero dei campionati mondiali di canottaggio costiero per la sua dedizione instancabile e il suo inesauribile entusiasmo. È stato grazie al suo coraggio, alla sua lungimiranza che Genova ha potuto ospitare una competizione internazionale di altissimo livello nella sua amata città di Genova, rendendolo possibile anche quando sembrava un sogno lontano. Dal profondo del cuore, caro Presidente, vogliamo dirle grazie. And it's not finished. Non è finita. The measure of Marco Bucci is honoring Giuseppe Abagnale, the president of the Italian sport, for his significant contribution to Italy as an athlete and as a manager. Abagnale, two-time Olympic champion and seven-time world champion in rowing, has been a visionary leader of the Italian Rowing Federation since 2012. Today, we are expressing gratitude for his crucial support in securing the Coastal Rowing Championship in Italy for the second time for our city of Genoa. Ed ora il sindaco Marco Bucci premia il presidente dello sport italiano, un uomo che ha dato tantissimo al nostro paese, sia come atleta che come dirigente. Giuseppe Abagnale, 2 volte campione olimpico e 7 volte campione del mondo, che ancora una volta è il simbolo dello sport, ma anche un eccezionale leader visionario alla guida della Federazione Italiana Canottaggio fin dal 2012. Oggi siamo qui per ringraziarlo in modo speciale per il supporto fondamentale che ha dato affinché i mondiali di Coastal Rowing venissero attribuiti per la seconda volta all'Italia e per la prima volta alla nostra amata città di Genova. Grazie Presidente! Let's conclude the victory ceremonies. Thank you very much. Your participation has been sensational. We ended this event here in Genoa, but it's not finished, because next week we are back together on the beach for the Beach Sprint Championship, and we can't wait to see you all back from Thursday onwards. Enjoy your trip, enjoy your couple of days off, and we can't wait to see you back next week. Con questo abbiamo completato le nostre premiazioni. Grazie di cuore a tutti voi per essere stati con noi. È stata un'edizione straordinaria, ma non finisce qui. Ripartiremo giovedì con il campionato del mondo di Beach Sprint. A tutti voi, se rientrerete a casa, un buon rientro a casa, a risentirci giovedì.